tenets of good storytelling. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So as an actor, as a theater person, this is really, really important to me because the way that we tell stories impacts people all over the world and is something I think everyone should learn how to do. So in the context of college admissions essays, let's talk about some good storytelling techniques. So one of them, the first one, is that good stories do need to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay? So the beginning needs to set the stage for us, describe the scene, or not describe necessarily, but show us the scene. And it does not need to be very long, but we do need to have some introduction to where we are, who we're talking about, what's going on. Then the middle, okay, the middle of your essay is going to be, that's the events that took place. That's how you reacted in the moment. That's why this was important. That's what was going on. That's the bulk of the story. And then the ending, which in college admissions essays can be shorter or longer, is this analysis of why that was important, what happened, what the greater consequences are, okay? So now it doesn't have to be, they're not evenly sized, okay? It doesn't have to be beginning, middle, end. In college essays, it's like beginning, middle, and then end. Like a lot of times the ending part is longer because that's the analysis, that what we are learning about you is what's important. So that's going to be the bulk of your essay. That's going to be most of what you're talking about is like, who are you because of this thing? Okay. So beginning, middle, and end. The stories also have, various little things like a good hook and good transitions from one thing to another thing. But I'm less worried about that for you. I do want you to have a good hook. Starting in medias res, like in the middle of the action, is going to help you have a good hook. But if you're telling the story well, your ideas should just flow, and and the transition between paragraphs should be pretty clear. I don't want you to necessarily be thinking like, I need a transition sentence here. Like when you're writing your essay about The Great Gatsby, sure, have a transition sentence. But in this case, that may be a little bit less important. And the other thing that's really important about good storytelling in this context is I got to see some transformation. I got to see some change. So for example, I had a student last year, write an essay about how she used to hate sitting in silence, that it made her super uncomfortable. And at her school, she went to a religious school, they had an hour of this like silent time every single week, and she hated it. She just hated it, drove her insane because she didn't know what to do with her thoughts, buzzing around her like gnats. Like it was not great for her. But over time, she learned that that was actually a really great time to quiet herself. She learned some meditative techniques to take the buzz away out of her thoughts. And by the end of her senior year of school, she actually really looked forward to that quiet time and knew she wanted to build it into her life going forward, which I'm sure the school was thrilled about because that was the whole point of that time. But she wrote an essay about that. And that transformation, learning to be okay with silence, that's a great essay topic. That's a very mature thing to talk about, that it really shows some transformation and change and is insightful and a little off the beaten path. It's not, AP chemistry is my favorite subject because it's something about real change and transformation and showed us something that was meaningful to her. So keep in mind that your essay wants to start in one place and end in another place. That's really important because we want to see how you've changed over time.